So in this lecture, we will know about the hole command. As the name suggests, hole command is used to insert hole in the 3D geometries. So generally in manufacturing, we have standard type of hole. These holes are predefined for the bolt connection or any type of connection. So we need to create the hole with the hole command. So we can find this hole command here. It is showing hole. Now to create this hole, we need to create a part. So go to extrude and let's say I select this XY plane. Draw a center rectangle and give it some dimensions. Finish the sketch and give it some height. Distance value I want to give it positive. So let's rotate it. Click OK. And now we can see we have created a 3D object. After that, I want to insert hole inside them. So what I do is I go to this hole command. Now inside this we have multiple options. The first option, that is general hole. So I select this option. Now in this general hole we have some different types like simple hole, counter bore, countersunk and tapered. So I start with this simple hole. Now we need to specify the position where I want to create the hole. So let's say I want to create the hole onto this top face. So click on this top face. And now we need to create a point. So here we can see a point has been already been created. Okay, so we need to just define the location here. So double click on this dimension and specify its position. So let's say this distance is 100 and double click on this distance. So let's say this is 50. Click close from here and finish the sketch. And now we can see the preview of a hole. Now after that we can see we have option of hole direction. We have normal to hole and along a vector. So most of the time we used to create hole that is perpendicular to the face. If we have any vector, we can also specify any direction for this. So by default I am taking this normal to face. Now we need to select the type of hole. Here we have simple. In the simple hole we just have a diameter. So we need to specify the diameter of the hole. After that we need to specify the depth. In the depth we can specify a value for depth here. Also we can specify until next. So it will create hole until the next surface. So let's say I create a through hole. So I select through body. Boolean is subtract because we want to remove the material and click OK. And now we can see we have created a hole. So I double click here. I will select this option that is called value. Now inside this value we can specify the depth value. And also generally we used to see that at the bottom of the hole we can specify a tip angle. So tip angle is this type of angle. So sometimes you see in the bolts we have this type of profile. So this is called the tip profile. So here we can specify the tip angle for this. So the depth, let's say I select 25. So I'm taking some random value just for the reference. Okay, let's increase this. Okay, 25 is fine. It is not crossing this object. Click OK. So whenever we have this type of hole that is not passing through the complete body, we used to provide an angle that is called tip angle. Okay, inside this tip angle we have some tapered profile. So if I go to this wireframe view, go to wireframe, okay, go to this option with dimension edges, and here we can see these are the tip angle. So go to shade with edge view, go to simple hole, and the next type of hole we have is counter bore hole. So in this counter bore hole, so let's zoom in. This is the type of profile in the counter bore hole. So the type I want is depth value through all. So in the counter bore hole, the top surface area has higher diameter. So we can specify this diameter. So let's say this diameter is 25. This should be greater than this value. So let's say this is 15. And click OK. Now we can see we have created a counter bore hole. Similarly, we have countersunk. So double click here. I go to countersunk. In this countersunk profile, we have a tapered profile on the top. So we can define all these parameters from here and click OK. Similarly, we have the tapered hole. So I click tapered hole. In case of tapered hole, this is kind of a taper profile. So we just need to specify the taper parameter here, that is taper angle. Just insert this value and click OK. So I click cancel from here, double click here, and then next type of hole we have is the drill size hole. In these types of hole, we just need to specify the parameter. In the parameter, like in case of drilling, we need to specify the standard drill size. For each drill, we have all this standard diameter. So just select the diameter which you want to create. Then select the type of fit, custom or exact. Okay, we can select custom. And then we need to specify the diameter and then depth and click OK. So in this way we can create the drill type of hole. Double click here. And the next type of hole we have is a screw clearance hole. So generally this type of hole are screw holes. Now in this hole, we need to specify the screw size. So generally we already have a screw size and we need to create the hole with respect to that. So in the screw size, let's say we have a screw of M16, and then we can select the standard like ISO, ANSI, metric and inches, DIN, JIS. These are all international standards. So let's say I select ISO standard, and then type of hole simple, counter bore and countersunk, and then hole is general screw hole and click OK. Now this type of hole is called a screw hole. Double click here, and the next type of hole is a threaded hole. In case of threaded hole, we need to specify the pitch value. So for the pitch value, so let's go to this option. So click cancel here. What I do is I will insert a new hole because it is showing the error. So let's say I select threaded hole, specify the position. Once again specify what the position. Insert this distance value. I am taking this as a default. Click finish, and then in the hole direction, that is normal to face, here we need to specify the size. So M16. So the first value represents the diameter and second is the pitch of the thread. So generally for a specific type of hole, the pitch and thread are already given. So let's say I select M20 and then right-handed, left-handed, through body. Okay, so let's say I want to insert the chamfer inside this. So initial chamfer and end chamfer. Click OK. So here inside this body we have initial chamfer for the hole placement. So in this way we can create different types of hole.